Ladies, gentlemen, and others, allow me to present for your viewing pleasure a giant cardboard box that is a lot heavier to get up here than I thought it would be. This is the Creality Ender-5 Max, a big old chonkin printer, and I was immediately interested in it. Hey kitty. It's got a 400 by 400 by 400 build volume, and there's like no videos on it. Seemed weird to me that they launched a product that kind of seems this big. We all thought the Ender-5 line was dead, and no fanfare whatsoever. Just one video from Nathan Builds Robots. So my knife is getting unstuck here. We're gonna take a look inside, get her put together, and figure out whether she is good or not. I'm hoping they've sorted out all of the under extrusion issues that were happening when I got my Creality K1. It's been a good couple years, so I certainly hope so. And I would love to look at some of the accessories, like the enclosure that they say is offered, but there's nothing on their website. The only thing you can buy is an extra 0.4 millimeter nozzle. So if you want an extra build plate, different types of nozzles, anything really, good luck. Maybe it's cross compatible, but I have not found that information yet. So I'm gonna have to do this on a table that is at less of a filming height, because this is immense. While I'm getting this out of the box, it should be worth noting that today's video is sponsored by nobody. I haven't uploaded in a year and a half. Nobody's sponsoring this stuff. Here's a little peek at how big the thing's going to be. That's the top frame. That's a chonker. This thing is massive. Okay, and here's the build plate. It's, like, I know it's like double the build volume almost in every direction from my other printers, but good gravy. Okay. Probably gonna have to get a new table. Oh, installation guide. I dropped the frame rate on the camera because the assembly is just going to turn into a time lapse, and that 1 terabyte drive on there fills up in about an hour. All right, let's go. I know someone's going to throw a hissy fit in the comments about me using an impact on this, but just a reminder, you can be gentle with these. Nice that the foot pads are actually going to be screwed on instead of just kind of chilling out down there like on the K1. Those kind of just fall off anytime you move that printer. I don't have a fancy filming table that can move up and down. It's literally just my dining room table sitting on top of the chairs. So bear with me. Well, she's all built and I think ready to turn on. So I'm going to plug her in over here. It is immense. Quite a big footprint here. I'll cut in a clip of this next to my Ender-3 S1 in its enclosure, but I think height And depth-wise, it's probably about the same. And then the Ender-5 is probably about this wide here. So bigger footprint, but considering it's a CoreXY machine, and when you enclose it, you know, this doesn't get any bigger with an enclosure. Yeah, not too bad for, you know, almost 8 times the build volume. So let's give her a plug and see what we got here. Is there a switch somewhere? To be fair, the instructions did not tell me to flip the switch up there. Power switch is all the way up front. Is she working? Okay, I see a light up there in the extruder assembly. Oh, there she is. One thing I was a little surprised by is it just comes with a normal nebula pad, the same thing you can get off the shelf. It just says nebula pad on the back. So interesting, they just went with the standard thing here. I'm gonna walk around and maneuver my way. I'm just gonna unplug this filament dryer. Let's go ahead and feed some stuff through our runout sensor here. I hate these stupid tubes. That's one thing I do miss about the older printers, was it was a lot easier to load filament, so you didn't have to push through half a mile of stuff to get in there. It feels like it's got basically the same extruder design as the K1, same switch and stuff, a little lever that locks or unlocks it, which they have had plenty of time to fix the issues with by now. A little resistance. Go on in, little fella. Lock it, and we got tension. Really don't want to mess this up because, well, good luck finding another one right now. Hopefully they'll have access to them soon. And there is one extra nozzle in the bag, so. Alright. Got a nice view between my dining room lighting fixtures. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, it's just a normal nebula pad. In green. So let's go ahead and get her hooked up here. Eastern Standard, International, not binding to Creality Cloud, and let's let her start her calibration sequence. There we go. Hey, there's the LEDs. Okay. Oh, and there goes the battery. I know, it's a mess. I know. Let's print us a Benchy, shall we? And she doesn't have one on her flash drive. Yes. You know, like I said, this is literally just a nebula pad, so if you want to add a camera, which I'm definitely going to do, it's just going to have to awkwardly plug into the USB port here on the side. Really? There's no Benchy on here? One shovel. Okay. We're printing a shovel. And it does look like she's doing full bed leveling instead of just where she's going to be printing. Which is fine, I guess. We'll be able to change that in the slicer, I'm sure. And I guess the fact that this is a nebula pad, let's see what firmware version it's on. We might be able to get root on this. No, I guess the version with root support is not going to. Yeah, we're 1.2.0.07. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doubtful. Yeah, there's no root support on this yet, I'm sure. But hopefully either a version with support for this printer comes out, or this printer's profile gets backported to an earlier nebula pad version that does support it. So. Yeah, she's definitely not quiet, but I would definitely say she's not any louder than the K1. Back to my ear, this is quite a bit quieter, and it's not even in an enclosure yet. Not the best looking print, but I'm sure it'll work just fine. And we have our first print done. Let's have a look, shall we? That, a little hard to get up here. I wonder where all this black and gray came from. Well, not the prettiest, but all the issues seem to be at the beginning, and not really sure what was going on with all this stuff here. Maybe there's some residual stuff from the factory that didn't get purged out. I don't see a purge line, so maybe the filament wasn't fed in far enough to purge the system properly. So let's print us a Benchy and take a look at how that comes out. Am I on screen? Yes, I am on screen on the dumb gamer book. All right, so is this recording? Yes. Do we have battery? Some battery. I updated to the latest version of Orca Slicer 2.3 beta, and there's no support for this printer. It's just too new, I suppose. So we're going to be rolling with Creality Print today. So I've downloaded version 6.02, and we're going to look for Ender-5 Max right up here at the top with 4/10 of a millimeter nozzle. Perhaps. All right. Bed type, epoxy resin plate. That is the one that comes with it, if I believe correctly. Testing primitive. Benchy. All right. That's... Look how little that guy is. Aw. So tiny. So tiny. All right. Let's slice you with the default settings and take a look at what we got here. Device model. All right. So Creality and really, I can't put in a URL. Oh, maybe? Other. Nope. Okay. We will add it by IP address since... Did my computer just freeze? Oh my god. Alright, we're going to try that again. Unhandled unknown exception. Terminating the application. Oh, come on! Hold on. I just want to print a Benchy. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Okay. Fresh install of Creality prints. And it's gonna freeze again. Fat finger. Ender-5 Max. Okay. There we go. So let's add in a Benchy here. That is an Benchy, if I've ever seen one. Slice! Very slowly slice. And let's send that off for printing. Off to the races. Okay, here we are. I'm gonna go yoinking Nebula Cam off the old printer. Okay. Well, that's how the Nebula camera looks with a big studio light here. Let's see what happens if we turn that off, just so we can get an idea of what the built-in monitoring light looks like. I'd call that usable. It's definitely usable. Where are you? Hello in there. Hello. Dude, this web interface looks so ghetto. Man. Oh, I'm complaining about the quality of the print a little bit. I really do think there was just some sort of residual left inside of the extruder, so I think this one will be better. Um, actual qualities on it, actual quality on it is just fine, and if you're coming from an older printer, I didn't have to do anything with leveling the bed or adjusting the Z offset. It just kind of printed in the right place with, you know, decent adherence the first time. So that's definitely an accomplishment, I would say, being able to take it out of the box and have a successful print right away without any tweaking. So yeah, let's run off a boat. Let's run off a little boat, fella, and take a look. Hey, Rindo. What do you think about the Ender-5 Max, kitty? What do you think about it? You like it? No, you like your Nerf dart tip more? Oh, okay. Just not interested, I see. That Benchy is finishing up, and I just want to know if this thing is cat approved. No. Cat doesn't like it. Don't buy it. Not interested. Not at all. Alright. And that's the Benchy. Sticks on there pretty good. Let's see. Wrong way. There we are. Pretty good looking Benchy. You see some little wisps of plastic here. And there, a little bit of stringiness to it. Not too bad though. Features are really smooth actually, and wow, okay. Yeah, let's check out the text on the bottom. That's one of the more legible ones I've seen actually. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good looking. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, there's some sort of layer shift line back there, but I think this is like the first time on an FDM print. You can actually read the text on the back. I honestly didn't know that was there. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better look at it. Really nice. Okay. Yeah, and you can see the hole back here. Very round. I'm actually quite impressed with this. Yeah, no. Really nice features. The overhangs on these arches have a pretty smooth top to them. Pretty good. Looking pretty good. I mean, obviously the stringiness is a bit of an issue, but yeah, no, that's a nice looking Benchy, I'd say. Okay. Alright, I'm smelling what they're stepping in right now. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, let's put our focus back somewhere a little more useful. And there's one more thing that I want to try to print here. I want to print a big Gridfinity base plate. This is something here that would have taken 6 prints or so on one of my existing machines, but here we should be able to do it in just 2. I've got this pulled over to the slicer already, and how much time she's saying? 3 hours 5 minutes. Do I want to do that right now? Okay, I'm gonna put my dining room slash kitchen slash living room back. Find a home for this somewhere in the house, and then we'll pick up from there. That is a big old print. Jeez. Ooh, man, she sticks on there. Yeah, that's like 2/3 of a toolbox drawer worth. Wow. Can't even hardly fit it on camera. Cool. Well, really good bed adhesion, looks like. Cool. Assuming that goes well, Final thoughts on this thing? Well, not final. It's still initial. Yeah, it's a giant ender, and it's weird to me that this is an ender because it didn't really take any tweaking out of the box to get some pretty nice results. Everything's kind of, just for the most part, kind of click and it works. So it's interesting to me that Creality is not promoting this thing like at all, and there's like one content available on it on YouTube that isn't from Creality themselves. And maybe that's a marketing decision on their end, because I mean this thing costs what, $400 or $500 less than the K2. You can enclose it, but that's not available yet, at least not in the United States store. And there's no support for the multi-material system, but most people do not need multi-material. And it outclasses the K2 in terms of build volume. Now the K2 is going to have some nicer parts and stuff, but I feel like for most people this makes a lot more sense. So we'll see how I should move the Z-axis. Okay, well the Z-axis button in the Creality print software isn't working. I feel like this printer makes a lot more sense for most people than the K2 Plus does, and it's just so much cheaper. Like, it's a lot of money compared to an Ender-5, but look at this thing, it's a behemoth. Yeah, so initial impressions are strong, but again, I would recommend holding off until there's some more parts available for this if it's something you're going to be using seriously. Because I'm going to be babying this thing until they are. Because, you know, if you mess up your build plate or your hot end right now, you're kind of SOL. So I'm going to be printing strictly PLA on this thing. Obviously, it's unenclosed, and yeah, hopefully more parts, both first party and aftermarket, come out soon. I'm looking forward to trying out a 0.6 millimeter nozzle on this thing, getting it to go a little bit faster, because I don't need things to look quite that pretty with what I normally use these for. But yeah, I think this thing is pretty all right on first impression. So I guess that's really all I have to say right now. If that opinion changes, expect a follow-up video, but if there isn't one of those, assume this thing is just all right. Maybe I'll do something on the enclosure or other upgrades when it comes out. But yeah, thumbs, comments, subs, you know the drill. See you guys in the next one.